Welcome to CN8 Money Matters. Thieves are always looking for new ways to get cash illegally. Now they're going after what may be your biggest investment, your home. Homeowners and home buyers are both being targeted in a scam called property fraud. Today, we will show you how the thieves can sell your property without your knowledge or your consent, and how unsuspecting buyers are being duped. First, let's find out how the scam works. For that, I turn to my guest, and Vincent Ingwe, a mortgage pro who can explain how these thieves are actually able to take out mortgages on other people's property. So let's get started, guys, talking about what this is. Part of this could be that I own a home, somebody goes in and falsifies a deed and claims to be me and the homeowner, and maybe goes and gets a new mortgage on the property. Then, Vincent, am I, as the legal homeowner, am I liable for that mortgage?
That's an interesting question. I think Ken, as the attorney, could probably answer a little bit better. But the problem sometimes is that when a buyer, let's say with an identity of someone else, and these days where identity theft is so rampant, internet scams are available, someone can simply change an identification, even fill out a Patriot Act information, or create some support documentation, W-2s and pay stubs, to actually act as if they're Mary Caracoli. So it's an interesting question. Unfortunately, sometimes I believe it's the homeowner that's still liable for this.
And so let me ask you then, from a mortgage point of view, I think anybody watching who has bought a house has said, I had to do so much work to just get that house, just so many documents, so much paperwork, title insurance. How can this happen? How can a mortgage be issued to somebody who isn't the homeowner?
There's a lot of pieces in that equation that are perpetrators. You probably have an appraiser that's involved in this scam. A lot of times it's the mortgage loan officer. I think as a mortgage company, first of all, you have to find a reputable mortgage company, obviously, I think that has policies and procedures in place to avoid something like this. Every deal that we do, for example, is we have an appraisal network, we have a title company network, we have a real estate network that we know who's reputable. A lot of times there's a lot of people that are involved in this scam that can get over on somebody very easily.
And so I guess another word of warning to consumers, if you were making a real estate transaction, if you're not going with a major company that you're pretty familiar with, that advertises, that's a big company, then also get your own title insurance. Don't let that, small broker who's offering you a great deal say, hey, I'm going to throw everything in there, title insurance, everything. Don't do it. Go get your own title insurance. Go get your own appraisal of the property. Maybe a little bit more money up front, but it'll save you thousands.
Sometimes even just cross-referencing some of those. You get an appraisal, sometimes it tells you the value is at $185,000, for example. Well, how do you know that value is really $185,000? That's based on what the appraiser says your home's value is. By cross-referencing that, maybe jumping online and going to an AVM or an adjusted variable model where you can actually look up online comparables for a neighborhood to give you an idea, is that the true value of this property? Sometimes even cross-referencing the title company to make sure that the deed has been recorded properly and that the owners that were stated are the actual true owners of that property.
Now, when it comes to what you do for a living for the mortgage brokers in this situation, what you say, it's been a trend that you saw similar to Joan, like 2003 or so, this really started to pick up. Is it all over the country from what you're hearing?
Absolutely. It's all over. It's from the West Coast right to the East Coast. So there's documented instances in Chicago, again now in Philadelphia, some in Colorado. I believe there was a large ring out there as well. So it's all over the place. Anyone who owns a home at this point is prey to some extent, especially if the home is vacant, if it's a second home, possibly a shore community, if you're on vacation for a long period of time, you're prey for some of these people, absolutely.